Good evening and welcome. My dear viewers, China has revealed to the whole world its role in spreading COVID and creating the COVID pandemic.
With 123 nations on one side and a strong anti-China sentiment, can the communist regime of China escape scrutiny now? Let's debate.
Viewers, on our panel, this is Dr. Sreeram Chaulia, who's our contributor on international affairs. Professor Sreeram Singh, again, sorry to intervene here. If anyone thinks that you can pay $2 billion or $1 trillion and buy your way out of the crisis by buying the United Nations and its affiliate organizations, they would be dreaming. The scale of human suffering is too vast this time and the consequences too major. Secondly, you spoke about imposing sovereignty on the world. I don't think China is in any position to impose sovereignty on anyone, including Taiwan. So, small correction to that, and Sreeram, listen to the debate. Sreeram, listen to the debate. Sreeram Chaulia wanted to respond to you, so this is interesting. Sreeram Chaulia will respond to you, Sreeram Singh, and then I'll give you a rebut back. Yes, Sreeram Chaulia, please.
Yeah, Arnab, I think...
No, please address Professor Sreeram Singh directly.
The issue really here is not about the World Health Assembly resolution per se. I think it's a baby step and an important step towards ultimately, pinning down China, or however you want to put it, holding it accountable and, for the truth to come out. More important, Arnab, is the dependence that many countries in the world had developed on China structurally in the name of globalization for the last 20-30 years.
Correct.
That is why the Chinese have been able to obfuscate so far and escape punishment. The moment we wean ourselves away, so I'll go back to Mr. Rudy's point, it's a good one, and this is very central and is close to what our own Prime Minister has been mentioning. Atmanirbhar Bharat, the whole idea of self-reliance, is now striking many countries in the world because the Chinese literally are holding us hostage now, Arnab. Because on one hand, we have this resolution, we are trying to force the truth out of them, even though that how far that will go, we don't know. But on the other hand, the Chinese control the supply of PPE. The Chinese control supply of masks. Most of the manufacturing of the gowns, ventilators, respirators, you name it, everything that we need to overcome this gigantic
we are building
crisis,
a lot of local competence in that. We have built a significant amount of competence in that, so there's no know-how they have which we don't.
The more we wean away from dependence on China in the next 5 to 10 years,
I think
will not be able to hold us hostage again or not like this.
No,
so
I think it's a
historical lesson, or not. It goes beyond the question of whether it started in Wuhan or not. Definitely it started, and if not in the courts, if not,
no, I'd remind you, Sreeram.
In the eyes of the
Sreeram,
eyes of the people of the world.
Sreeram, to be fair, let me get Professor Chenoy, go back to Professor Sreeram Singh. It's an interesting debate, but I need to make one point here. You see, we as I say, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, I think we have this craven mindset sometimes that China is an extremely powerful country which cannot be questioned. Why don't we strongly assess the vulnerabilities of China? Why don't we look at how restless their local population is? Why don't we look at the history of repression, for example, that they have had in Xinjiang? Why don't we understand how nervously they respond every time to Taiwan? I mean, N.R. Tangen will remember that in July 2019, Mr. Tangen, when a US signed a military arms deal with Taiwan, China said it will impose sanctions on the American company selling the arms. I mean, that kind of overreaction, they have strong sensitivities. Kamal Mitra Chenoy, if there is one country that is vulnerable because it has built scale without building the demand, China's manufacturing depends on global demand. The world can pin down China if it wants. It will have to be a concerted effort. China has built infrastructure for the world.
We need disinvestment or not?
Yeah, so
it's been the slogan and the principle for the new
China
world
has been a beneficiary of globalization while also being one of the strongest opponents in practical terms of globalization. And everybody has a successful run. It's past its prime. Einar may not like to hear that. But the Chinese are well past their prime. You know, and they're going to have to reconcile with the changing global realities. But Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
You seem to be very concerned
Yes, Einar.
about China's
Did I
success.
touch a raw nerve
It
somewhere
seems that
there?
that's what they're in fact guilty of.
Pardon
I mean,
me?
this is, in essence, a kangaroo court. You've reversed the guilty till proven innocent and saying that you're guilty. Innocent till proven guilty, and you've now turned it around and say that
Einar?
you're guilty till proven innocent.
Einar, let me tell you one thing.
This kind of thing is going against the rule of law. Everything that your traditions that you got from
Sir,
the
the
British.
burden of
and
proof
now,
lies on the
just to
country
correct
from
something,
where the
I'm not a
virus
spokesman for the
originated.
Chinese
The burden
government.
of proof, if you're talking
I'm an
about the
American
principle of
citizen.
law, the
And I'm a
burden
lawyer,
of proof lies
and I
with
actually
the
liked
accused.
prosecuting people back in the day. But I always gave them the benefit of the doubt rather
right.
than trying to convict them by mob rule in
Sir, you cannot
television
win in a
set.
court of law. Of course, nobody can force compensation on you. I know that because countries enjoy sovereign immunity. But in the court of public opinion, you have lost.
I want to just make one point to you, Einar, if I may, Sriram, he made a couple of interventions which need a little bit of a pummeling in response. Thank you everyone, especially to Einar Tangen for joining us from Beijing. Not a kangaroo court, Einar, but we will ask very strong questions, and I can assure you, Einar, we'd not be the only ones globally from the US, Australia, Germany, Sweden, think tanks in the UK, everyone's asking these questions.
Union also.
I thank you all for joining me on this debate.